What's going on, guys? My name is Rajeev Kugan and thank you for checking in. This video is for those who are looking for a new tech bag, or in my case, my first camera/tech bag. And just like myself, you're looking for all the feedback you can get before spending about 300 bucks. Okay, so for me, let's just cover the basics. One of the most important features in a bag is that it has to have a laptop slot. And all this time, I've been carrying 2 laptop bags. Well, kind of like two tech bags to make up for my losses of not having, a camera smart bag. Let me find my bag. Actually, it's right here. 2 laptop bags. One is a backpack. One is a messenger bag. I would just put my camera gear in here and then I'll put my laptop in here. Literally have 2 bags on me. Wasn't smart. It just didn't feel like I was being efficient. Is that the word I keep saying? Efficient. That's what it is. It wasn't efficient. So I decided to go with. But before we get into that, let's just go a little bit of a backstory on how I even got to that product. So this is for anyone who is also contemplating between buying the Peak design and something around that range when it comes to a compact. You hear my dog? I don't know if you can hear my dog. Compact yet enough room to put, your wires, your gadgets, your laptop and your camera. And I don't know about you, but for me, it seems like the camera bag competition and choosing one has probably been the most hardest thing I had to deal with in the longest time. Aesthetics play a big role for me, and to be honest, Lowepro was not on the list. It was just something that I was like, it's too tactile for me. Did I say tactile? I meant tactical. Tactical. As much as I like Wander, the reason why I didn't go with it is because it doesn't have a dedicated tech area. It doesn't have the slots for the wires or your chargers or even small little, hubs and tech gadget stuff you want to put in. You literally have to get those tech pouches. I don't want to keep opening up a pouch just to get certain things out. So that's why I kind of ruled it out, and we only have Peak design here as one of my only options that I like from an aesthetic standpoint and from a feature standpoint. So I bought it, and here is why I returned it. First and foremost, the laptop pouch. I wish I had it in me. It would just make more sense just to show you guys. But the laptop pouch where you put in the laptop in the back was super tight. Way too tight. Imagine I didn't have a MacBook. Imagine I had a 15-inch Acer or something like that. One of those laptops that are just so bulky. There's no way that's gonna fit in there. So it was, very designed around the world that if you are a creator, you're probably gonna walk around with a laptop that's pretty much thinner than a MacBook Pro, thin as a MacBook Air, and it just has to be less than 15 inches. Laptop is a very important feature in a tech/camera bag. So already 1 point down, I just couldn't deal with that. So again, guys, it's a backpack. So me carrying a lot of weight on my back, and it feels like, okay, before I even say this, I know Peak design fan peeps are gonna kill me for this, but it felt like a box on my back. Literally a cardboard box that looks cool on my back. It did not feel comfortable, which is very important. To be honest, I've asked people, and I have a few friends that have, and they're like, no, it's perfectly fine on my back. So it could be just me being a weakling or something wrong with my back. I don't know what it is. It doesn't work for me. Made the choice to get rid of it. I'm like, there has to be a bag for me in the market that I would enjoy. So I kept looking. So what did I do? I went with the 30 liter. Of course I did. And guess what? Felt like a bigger box. Returned it. I looked into Tenba. I looked into all these other things. Tenba. It's just funny. Tenba. The Lowepro Freeline 350 BP. It was available on sale on Black Friday. Pulled that trigger, bought it, came in a few weeks later, and guess what? Okay, so I already mentioned this before. I really like the fact that it's a very low-key type of bag. No tactical stuff, none of those little bands in the front. As you can see, just 2 of these little straps in the front to extend, put in your tripod or whatever the case may be. And that's enough. That's all I need. I don't need to have every single type of band in the front to lock your stuff in. So this is what you would call that everyday type of bag. It doesn't really have to be full of hard shell bag. Even though it does have a nice fitting, it does feel like it's sturdy enough. It just doesn't have the signature turtle shell that the other bags have. That's what you don't get. It does feel like a regular bag, which is what I like and wanted. Watch this cover piece on the zipper and watch how it covers as you pull in. See that? See that? It's just satisfying. And that's just me, the little details that make this bag just so beautiful. All the zippers everywhere around here just has that little enclosure where just like as you zip, it's like. As I mentioned, very inspired by Peak Design, which is not a bad thing at all. Not a bad thing. It's just their own take on it. And you know, initially when you look at this bag, it does look smaller and more compact than the 20 liter. Especially doesn't have that extra kind of pull and locking mechanism where you kind of extend it by pulling it, and you know, it's magnetized. I don't know, something about it, cool. Wasn't a fan of it. So let's open it up and check it out. Little space to put your headphones. The way I set it up is pretty much I have my headphones or anything I need that would fit in this area. This could be a 70-200 lens if you want. I do have my lens that's accessible on the other side, so it has a little flat end. I do keep the cover on just so that it creates the flat look. They do give additional dividers to create the flat look if you want to, but you know, I just hacked it. Tech pouch, that's right, they give you a tech pouch. Let's check it out. I do have what I normally wouldn't need all the time. Charger battery in case, you know, it's there. Aux cable, converters, beautiful. Dongles by all these new phones. Don't need to go through all that. It's not a what's in my bag video, it's just me showing you management. Cable management, wire management, gear management. You know, see how it just went in there, see that? See that? It's just, they do have a side slot here, so it does come with a water resistant, waterproof little cover. Turns into a little thing, you just kind of just pull it out, put it on top. Pretty cool enough that, you know, we did have a winter storm just a week ago, and that in that winter storm, this came super handy. Put that back on the side. So that's that. And here's the thing, it does come with a little bit of a elastic, and it does kind of stretch out, as you can see over here. This allows it to give you enough room to put in like a mini tripod or a Joby, whatever the case may be. To be honest, like I've actually had an umbrella in here. It's just because it gives you enough depth to pull out and use. It comes in handy. And here's the other thing. See these guys right here? It's on both sides. It's at the bottom and the top, or on both, left and right. And trust me, when you're on the subway, especially in Toronto, when you get shoved in rush hour, when you can flip this bag to the side and carry it like a messenger bag, or just grip it like a duffel bag where you're just holding it, it's so handy. And like, it's so sturdy and stiff, like it doesn't bother you because you don't feel it. But I'm telling you, lifesaver, especially for those people who commute. Just grab it. Sometimes I hold it like this with both of them in case if it's too heavy. You got options. So this is where the camera is, and like I said, this is where I have, for video sakes, my old and one and only T2i shoved right in. So there's a T2i, classic days. Here's my lens, that's my Tamron 28-75 for the Sony, and that's it. And maybe you might not need the tech pouch in there, you can put it on the top, or you know, if you want to convert this whatever the way you want. That's the whole point of the whole compartment divider mechanism. It's yours to customize. And obviously on the top pouch over here, I got my business cards, because you need business cards on the go. So bang, I got pens, I got my chargers and my batteries. That is that. See, just little slots. So small little slot, but look at this. You know what this is? This is the handy little things you need when you own a MacBook Pro, when these guys decide to take away ports. Like, big enough to put your headset, big enough to put your charger, USB, RSC keys, memory cards, whatever you want. Shove it. And it's not done yet. Boom. This is where I keep my SatMark lenses on the go when I need it. This is where I keep my lunch sometimes, and dedicated spot for my laptop wire charger. And that's it. This completes the whole setup for me when it comes to needing a laptop bag, because I have a dedicated slot for my laptop, which is right there. As you can see, very roomy. You see that? See that? Roomy. You can put your tablet in there, you can put your laptop in here, and guess what? I was able to fit two of my laptops. Two MacBook Pro, 15 inches, were able to come in here without any issues. Of course, on my back, it's a little tight. That's my fault. But again, it gives you that option, right? And lastly, we got this little dedicated slot for your cell phone, or, you know, I use it for my sunglasses sometimes, or my lens cap. So this is the Pixel. Of course, it's a bigger phone than a regular iPhone size would be. So imagine you attach like a wide angle lens here, and it could be like your first person view. It's pretty cool. I think it's pretty dope. So back to the compartments in this bag. You know, one of the cool things is that you can actually take everything out and keep the actual dividers in place without having to restructure it. Took it all out. So like I said, You don't want to use it as a camera bag anymore. It just slides right out. Just slides right out, and I can just put it on the side. Or if I was to collapse these, this literally just goes flat. Don't want to do that because I have it set up in a certain way, but you guys get the point. So now I just have a, empty shell bag that, normally Peak Design would sell like in the 45 liter where you'd have to buy and start putting things in from scratch. So, now it's just a nice empty bag. Now I gotta put all this back. Okay, so remember I said there were small things that I would wait for the V2, and to be honest, it's not a big deal. It's just me picking on it because it bothers me, especially when I'm on commute. See these guys right here? See, I don't even want to take this off, but I'm going to show you guys. Look at this. Look at this. Look how long this is. So imagine you're on commute and now this thing's just getting dragged and tripping people. It just gets annoying. Sometimes it just happens. So I have it weird way to strap it in. It kind of just, fold it in weird ways so it just kind of tight, doesn't come off. But again, that's annoying. And lastly, I don't know if you guys can see. So remember how I mentioned how one of the interesting things about this bag is that when it's not being used as a camera or gear bag, technically you can pull this out and it turns into a regular bag where you can put in your clothes, shoes, or whatever the case may be. And guess what? This is now being bent. It should be sitting in right there, and it should be tucked in. But the problem is, I guess because I have too much of a load on my back or something's causing it to just push forward, it's bending in. I feel like in V2 they should have some kind of zipper mechanism where you can kind of just zip this piece in to the back so that it's tight. It's a tight fit and it won't come out unless you unzip it and you want to pull it out. So that's one of my biggest issues, apart from the straps. Other than that, this bag is solid. Very solid bag. No complaints. Just does two small things that I hope they would figure out a pretty cool, smart way to kind of, manage the cables or secure the flap that stabilizes the back for the whole structure inside. So it's all we can hope for, upgrades and enhancements as people start using it and giving feedback. Lowepro, if you're watching this ever in your life. Well, thank you for watching, guys. I hope this helps someone on their journey in buying a tech bag that's contemplating between Peak Design and Lowepro, especially in these two ranges, which is the Freeline versus the 20 liter Peak Design. Here's why I switched over. Here's why I actually decided to keep it, and I will continue to support it because I actually like the bag. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that subscribe button. You see that little notification icon? You all know what that is, a little bell somewhere. Hit that bell icon so that you can get my videos on the go when you need it without even having to go look for it, because it's just easier, notification, instant notification. And lastly, stick around. I will be announcing a giveaway very soon for one of the products I did give away before. So, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.